Welcome back to another YouTube video. I am joined with Carl,
Hi guys.
and today we're going to be answering the golden question: how many links are required to rank in e-commerce, or just how many links are required in general?
It's always like a fun question, this, because everyone wants the answer, but anyone who gives you the answers almost lying out the back teeth.
Yeah, it very much depends, and that's the end of the video.
How long's a piece of string?
No,
Yeah,
but
guys.
so in this video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be essentially showcasing why it depends and how you can get a little bit more of an accurate answer. I feel like that's probably really important, especially if you are a business owner. You probably do want to know that just from an ROI point of view as well, especially if you are doing an e-commerce website or trying to rank in London or wherever else.
Yeah, so I think for this example, what I'll do is I'll share a screen and maybe we'll look at, because we're going e-commerce, right? And e-commerce SEO. So let's pick something like buy sofa
Yeah,
or buy a sofa or something. And we'll do based in the UK because obviously we're both British.
the same strategy applies anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay, so disclaimer alert, we use Ahrefs. You can use any tool you want. Obviously, different tools have different metrics. I know SEMrush are pretty good at this as well. We use Ahrefs just because it's our kind of go-to tool within the agency and things. And regardless, once you get started in the niche, a lot of the time you'll find the strategy will change based off what you're doing. So if we go on Ahrefs and type in buy sofa, you see straight away it's a hard difficulty, and to rank in the top 10, it's going to take 99 referring domains. Now, this is where I completely disagree with Ahrefs, and basically all they've done is probably an average of I believe they do like an average of the links going to the top 10, and then that works out the average. So what I like to do is I first obviously have a little look, make sure the search volume is pretty decent. So again, Ahrefs is a bit inaccurate with its search volume data. So what I like to do is just, if it's saying there's 2.5k volume in the UK, it could probably well be 5x that. So it's a good indicator. What I do like to look at is the cost per click metric. Usually if that's getting up there a little bit, it tends to mean that there's a decent amount. And then what I also like is the clicks per search metric data, which kind of shows you, and the clicks distribution data, which shows, organic is very much kind of top of the tree there. And
yeah.
a good mix of paid organic, but organic's kind of top of the tree. So it's a good keyword overall. So now if we scroll down, what we're trying to work out is obviously roughly how much is it going to cost. So straight away, a good old EMD ranking here. I love to see that. Buy sofas direct or buy sofas direct coming in. Barely any RDs to the site, and it's ranking 5th. Surprising that. I would never guess that would happen.
Would you say that that's like kind of an outsider, if that makes sense?
Yeah, so I would probably go down the route of saying this is clearly someone just utilizing the EMD factor. I would still look at his site because, it's still a hard keyword. So if he's doing it on so few RDs, I would be looking at what RDs he's getting and then trying to replicate that strategy.
So one question, I'm just going to slightly chime in every now and again. If, say, for example, there is an exact match domain, so an EMD, by the way, for anyone that doesn't know, is essentially very, very similar to the actual keyword you're trying to rank. So, for example, if you're trying to rank for best shoes or buy shoes online, somebody might have buyshoesonline.com, right? And typically speaking, you need less guest posts, or you need less links pointing through to that, correct?
Yes.
So then why is it that this website is more important than everyone else? Is it because the links are potentially more relevant, or what's the case?
So Google have like a weighting system in the algorithm. So it's why a lot of the times in SEO will always advise a keyword rich URL. Now that weight shifts a little bit more if you think the closer to the start of the URL, the more weight it has. Well, if the whole domain literally is the keyword, it has almost the most weight, right? So then obviously if they go and start building backlinks to it, usually that will push a little bit more power. So this example here is like, they've done 28 RDs, which is such a small amount of RD. Whether or not there could be some hidden. Obviously, we have tools to detect this. That's a whole other kettle of fish, though.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would then just expand and have a look at the RDs. So straight away, if I share this tab, you can see basically directory sites, really. So you've got the likes of Yell, things like this, which is kind of what you would expect. But I would probably just then filter it by do follow, and let's see what do follow sites they've got. So again, some more directories, and then this could be, so there's straight away a EMD link. A guest post. So what you can actually do, it's not wise to do that in this tab, but if you go across to backlinks, you can then obviously filter by best links is quite a cool thing, but you can actually do backlink type and then in content. It's a good way of just showing generally, like directory sites and things aren't going to have in content. So this will show, your typical WordPress. So you can see he's got 10 groups of links, 9 groups which I do follow, and these are the sort of keywords he's using. So he's going very, very exact.
Yeah, that's insane to see.
Very exact, considering what he's got 28 links in total. Bear in mind with an EMD as well, all of his like URLs and things are quite exact already. So it's cool to see. I like seeing this sort of stuff. But
one thing that I will mention, even though Carl's just shown this website and he said that this website has went with a lot of exact match anchors, previously, like 2 steps ago, you did also show that they do have a lot of directory websites as well. So he does have a strong foundation set of links, but then he also has sprinkled a few exact match anchors. One thing I will say is that the SEO that's behind that website, he definitely knows what he's doing.
Let's just check this isn't one of my domains. So yeah, I would be taking, I'd grab these URLs here.
Yeah,
because these are clearly pretty decent.
So you would say, let's say, for example, if some of those websites are potentially not even to do with actual sofas, but they might be more so to do with finance, or they might not be as relevant as you want them, you would 100% get these links.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I think even this one here, testing time blog, you can almost tell that that's not really going to be that relevant, probably. Or Sweetie Sal, probably not going to be that. That's probably going to be like a mummy blog. Notgotaclue.com again. This probably is a bit more related, and spillinglifetea.com and UK Lifestyle Hub. But I'm not if anyone's watched any of my previous stuff, I'm not a huge advocate or a believer in it always has to be relative. The post itself adds the relativity. Otherwise, why would big sites end up ranking, right? Like the BBC, for instance, all these parasite sites that you see ranking now. The big news sites, but they rank for a bunch of keywords.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So if we go back, just so I can show you how I would estimate. So DR 51, 63, 70.
It's stuck on the... I'm still looking at the... Right, there we go.
DR 51, 63, 70, obviously ignoring the 0, 58, 49, 43, 91, 82. So let's say roughly average, you could do this in Excel, I'm just not going to do it on the video, is average DR is probably around the 50 range. To get that average DR, you can see a lot of these sites have quite a decent amount of links. I know, for instance, this is just showing the page, but like I know Furniture Village is, if I open up in the overview and then change this to entire domain, there's 2,500 RDs there, right?
Yeah.
The reason why we know this, for anyone who isn't aware of Ahrefs, is because of the DR of the site, you can pretty much guarantee, especially these are like big brands, but you can pretty much guarantee with that high DR, they're going to have a decent amount of RDs.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't come into this keyword and think, you know what, I can do it with 30 RDs, because I have to factor in that it's leveraging scs.co.uk. So what I would probably do is actually go through each of the main competitors. I would then grab their total RD count. I would then see how many times they internally link to whatever page it is that's ranking. So, sofas and armchairs. I would then do just a little formula, which would just be like deducting, it's kind of like a page rank formula where you're saying, well, look, these amount of RDs all are passing juice through to this page. Therefore, I might need this amount of RDs.
Right. That's quite a very in-depth but smart strategy.
Yeah. Again, once you get started, and this is where I know we do this a lot, you can start going down the route of, right, I'm never going to rank for this out the box. So let's take one of the big boys. Let's go DFS. Although they do other furniture, so we might pick Sofology instead, because obviously we want them to be more niche specific about sofas. Let's open up these in the overview tab. Now let's go into their keywords. And then let's apply some filters. It's probably going to filter all of them keywords out, because the word, although it's Sofology, so hopefully I'll just get rid of that brand. There we go. So we can now see straight away on the term sofas how hard it would be to outrank these guys, considering the keyword difficulty. But what you can do is you can filter by keyword difficulty 0, and then you can start having a look at, right, I'm not going to outrank them straight away by sofas, but I might be able to outrank them if I build a page specific for small sofa chairs.
Yeah, so now essentially you're going down the path of building out topical authority as opposed to just going after sheer amounts of links, because this is a very, very common question that I get asked is, how many articles do I need, or how many links do I need? But the amount of links that you actually need depends on the amount of articles that you have. Because, for example, if you have 600 articles talking about corner sofas, fabric sofas, leather sofas, all the different colors, blue sofas, white sofas, grey sofas, that's essentially telling Google, okay, this website over here is specifically talking about sofas. They are the expert, so we're going to rank them higher. So when Google essentially ranks you higher, instead of potentially needing 150, 200 links for the URL buy sofas online, you might only need 50 URLs. So you're essentially minimizing the cost on the link side of stuff.
Exactly. And then obviously I know we're talking a lot about e-commerce SEO here, or at least the keywords are tailored around e-commerce. So one of my main pet hates, I often get asked to audit e-commerce sites, or to offer a little bit of my opinion on e-commerce sites, and then they're like, oh, we've done everything we can think of, all of the experts have taught us, and then I open up the site, I open up the product pages. I notice they might have a hierarchy where it's a main page, categories, all the products, 2,000 products. And yes, they're categorized, maybe it's in a breadcrumb. And then I start reading their product information and go, well, why is there no internal link back up to the top level category?
Yeah, so essentially breadcrumbs is super important. So, for example, if you think of it from obviously we don't want to get into hierarchy of e-commerce, but if you have loads of products that are, for example, grey sofas, and you've got a grey one-seat sofa, you've got a grey two-seat sofa, a grey corner sofa, you essentially want to be internally linking back up to your grey sofas category page, which holds all of your grey sofas.
And the main thing for that is, or the main reason is, at one point you might no longer sell a one-seater grey sofa. So you don't want to be building all your links and all your link juice to one great. So obviously you can redirect it in the future, but you don't want to be building all your links juice to that when you could be building it through to the category page, which then links down to that. So in essence, saving you a bit of time and money. And
Exactly.
that category then powers up everything else again. So it's very much this topical authority approach, which should reduce the amount of money you have to spend in time.
Yeah, definitely. So one thing, just going back to the actual amount of links that's actually needed for buy sofas. If we go back to that page, Carl,
Yep.
I am still seeing your previous tab.
Yeah, I'm clicking back.
Right. There we go. No.
No, I'm not there yet. I'm still in sophology here. I'm going. There we go. Buy sofa.
Right. So if somebody had a gun to your head, right, and they said, how many links do I need for this? I'm a brand new website, and they only care about the buy sofas page. How many would you estimate? Let's do two estimations. Let's do one with low topical authority and one with high topical authority.
High topical authority, I reckon you could do it in, with this example, average about 60, 70 RDs.
Right.
Low topical authority, that isn't an AMD, as high as 1,000.
That's a very, very big range, especially like for example, if you were to do like a cost breakdown, like that's huge. So, well, again, try to build out your topical authority, then start doing your link building. Because again, the ideal scenario is you're building your topical authority and you're also building your links that go along with it. But if you don't have any topical authority, it's going to be way more expensive to rank. That's almost like a 10x multiplier if you don't have topical authority. So then, obviously, what we're also going to do is we have got an example website. If you can pull that up, Carl. So this website here is trying to rank for buy desks online or buy electrical desks online, height adjustable desks, some people would call it. And there's obviously a few things that these guys aren't doing that we can definitely improve upon is if we load up the Ahrefs of that URL as well. So what's one thing that you would do straight off the bat for this website?
Build some links.
Do you know how many links you would potentially look to be building?
I would, because it's 0, and I haven't actually looked at the top level domain. I should probably I'll quickly look at the top level domain 2 seconds. Okay, it's not a lot. I would definitely be building a bunch of sort of foundational links first, because they don't have a lot of links at all.
Yeah.
One of the core things with the algorithm is you tend to see that people go quite aggressive out the box, and these sites might rank really well initially, but I can guarantee you check back in 6 months and there won't be anywhere, and that site will probably be burnt at that point and not rank again. And that's usually down to, we run a disavow agency as well, or a links audit agency, and recovery service. And a lot of the time that's down to just too aggressive on anchor texts too early on in the growth cycle of the website. So with this, I would definitely be just building some foundational, we've seen some before, directory links, things like that, to this initial sort of website as a whole, and maybe even to the specific page.
Yeah.
And then, just start building some things. Let's have a look. I haven't actually looked at the site. I
mean, this website definitely does earn some money. However, if they did really want to scale out their SEO, that's one thing that they would definitely need to do. So building foundational links is super important. That obviously sets up the website for success. And then essentially on top of that, doing the more powerful links, such as the niche edits, the guest posts, building relevance. That's ultimately what this website lacks. From an on-page SEO point of view, it's very, very on topic. They do obviously have product descriptions, they have category content as well. However, it's just the off-page SEO, essentially getting the vouchers from other websites.
So what I would also be saying in this example here, one thing I don't like on this page straight away is they've got a link to a price match. No punter really cares about that. They might when they're actually at the buying point, but I wouldn't have an internal link on your page to link to the word price match. So I'd remove that straight away. And then if we come down and look at the actual, there's no breadcrumb anywhere here.
Am I looking at a product page right now?
No, this is just height adjustment. So I think this is a category page. Obviously, I'm about to click into a product.
Right, okay.
But if we look at, as a category, there's no top level breadcrumb shown. And then if we actually click on one of the products, so this is one of the products on there. Yes, there's a breadcrumb just popped in.
Yep.
I don't know where that. So that actually goes to a completely different URL than what we've just clicked on.
Right, okay.
It didn't come in from the height. This might be just because of categorization errors. But again, I'm pretty sure this product was quite high up on their list. So let me just click one of this. So this was the second on their list, and look.
I am still seeing the electric sit. There we go.
Google's going to see this here. So this was the first product on their list, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And their first product on the list goes to something that has a completely different hierarchy. So it was from the height adjustable desks. That's then linked into in the hierarchy, sit and stand office desks. Now Google's going to notice that, which is a bit odd on that page. Then further down, the description has a link to a PDF, 2 links to PDFs, nothing linking back
no
up
internal
to that
links.
height adjustable. So again, that's, these are just flagship fundamentals that e-commerce store owners, I know you're probably working with a big amount of SKUs. Like I can imagine this site, if I just take the actual list of products, we can do a quick site colon check. It has quite a few pages.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't hurt to just sit and, you probably got staff members. It's not going to take that long to go through 3,000 pages and do some internal links.
Yeah.
And the benefits are going to hugely outweigh
where it's at right now. Yeah.
Exactly. Especially further down the line when, you start building building links,
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to leverage your topical authority. Right now, this topical authority, I would just say, is a little bit all over the place. The site's internal link structure, external link structure, general layout of the site and categorization of the landing pages is, a little bit messy.
Yeah. So 3 things from an on-page SEO point of view that should be fixed is the internal links on product descriptions, the internal links on category pages, so you're not just internally linking to less relevant pages, and then the actual breadcrumbs as well. So a lot of the things come down or boil down to actual internally linking correctly on the actual website, which is really important.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So that has been our video on how many links does an e-commerce website need. Thanks, Carl, for joining me.
Cheers, guys.